Just because your child has ADHD does not mean they need therapy. In fact, individual therapy, counseling, whatever you want to call it, is not even a recommended treatment for kids with ADHD from the American Academy of Pediatrics. What is the recommended treatment is parent training, which I provide through the ADHD Dude membership site, in conjunction with medication management. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, our pediatrician recommended a therapist to us, or my son or daughter's guidance counselor recommended a therapist to us. I understand that. The reason why they do that is because most professionals, including therapists, do not know the American Academy of Pediatrics treatment recommendations. I follow those recommendations not just because they're from the AAP. I follow them because I find that they produce the best results for families in the most time and cost-effective way possible. Keep in mind, ADHD is not a mental health condition. ADHD is an executive function developmental delay. And the reason why individual therapy is not recommended as a treatment for ADHD is because kids with ADHD need to be taught things in the moment in order to generalize skills. That's why parents have the most important role, and that's why parent training is the recommended treatment. Now, if you're thinking, well, I think it would be helpful for my son or daughter to talk to somebody, I would say, okay, well then ask them. Don't force them to go because somebody told you to. Ask them if they think it would be helpful to talk to somebody. And if so, then that's fine. The other thing I will tell you is in terms of therapy, and I am a licensed therapist, is, ask your child if they'd rather see a man or a woman. A lot of times I find that moms don't even think about that and they just go to a woman because that's who they feel comfortable with. But you have to remember, therapy was not created for boys, and therapy really wasn't created for boys with ADHD. And in fact, the whole kind of process of therapy is not very male friendly, which is why males drop out of therapy at a much higher rate than females. So if you have a son and you're looking for a therapist, make sure that therapist takes them out of the office and there's some movement involved, because the way boys communicate most effectively is when they're doing something and not having to make eye-to-eye contact. The last thing I want to mention to you is the most frequent comment I hear from parents is, we tried therapy or we tried multiple therapists and nothing was helpful. And what I'm going to tell you is, if you're expecting therapy to help address some of your child's ADHD related challenges, it's not going to happen. So at some point you have to be realistic about this. And at some point you have to say, okay, if this isn't working, then maybe I need to follow the American Academy of Pediatrics treatment recommendations. If you want to learn more about my parent training program, please check out the ADHD Dude membership site at adhddudecourses.com. Take care.